Now, once we are implementing the ICT, what are the aspects into which the ICT is working? The first point is that enabling the ready access at the place of the villages. That is when the villages are coming for loan or for access of credit that is easily available through the ICT. That is easily available through the use of internet and mobile banking. Whenever one wants to take a loan, he or she does not have to wait for 3 or 4 or 5 days just for the reason that the bank through which he or she is applying the loan or the credit is being not available or is not available at that place, and therefore it makes it more difficult for the person to access the credit. Therefore, the biggest advantage that the ICT has in implementation over here is that it enables the ready access of credit to the pledges, reducing the transaction cost. As we discussed before, what ICT does is that it reduces all the transaction cost, the traveling cost of the customer from the home to the bank, even for the business facilitator who are present in the bank and go out for the potential customer, and they look into the data, they look into the records that they have, the documents that they have to submit. So all these things bears a cost. So in order to remove this cost, as we call it the transaction cost, ICT is the best way to do it. ICT completely removes these kind of problems. Now previously, for access of the loan for the customer, he or she has to travel 3 or 4 times to the bank. But this time, because of the ICT, it has been reduced to just one. So he has to bear the cost just for once only, or maybe the business facilitator of that bank, the third party, may have to reach to that particular customer's house just for once, for complete access, for complete procurement of the entire documents that are required for the disbursement of the loan. Previously, that used to happen twice, thrice, or 4 times, but because this time, due to the availability of the ICT, already the information is available on the net, and the person can see what are the documents that are required and what are the documents, if not available, what can be given in their places to ensure that easily disbursement of loan might happen. So once the business facilitator contacts the person through phone, over the phone, that maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, he will be coming to collect the documents and see the credit history of this person, then the customer can easily procure or get access of those documents and keep it with him in order to hand it over to the business facilitator. So therefore, the overall transaction has been reduced. The overall cost due to this transaction is reduced. Hence, due to the digitization and implementation of the ICT, transaction cost has been drastically reduced. Now, reduction in delays, as discussed before, for a customer who wants loan or who wants easy access to credit, has to travel from his house to the nearest bank branch, the commercial bank branch, or maybe a rural bank branch. There he has to wait in a line. Then he has to talk to the person what are the documents that are being required, when he has to submit it, how he has to submit it. Then he comes back to his home, and then next day or day after that day, he goes off with all the documents that are available to him, or maybe he may not have those documents which are being asked. So he has to again go back to the bank, inform the people over there, concerned people about the unavailability of the documents and what else, or what are the documents that he might give in their places. Get that information, then again come back to the home, and then again take those documents together the next day for the submission and approval of the loan disbursement. Now those documents are submitted, once he has submitted those documents, the proof of those documents, they will be verified, then they will be checked, and pertaining to that, after analysis, the loan disbursement would be made. For this disbursement, the customer has to again come to the branch, again on a given another date at which the bank calls for him. So there is a long process from the time that he wants a loan till he gets a loan. There is a long duration of it. Now, because of this long duration, in rural areas, what happens is that people will get disillusion of the whole system. They would rather go out once only, and then they would start thinking that what is the utility of all these things, because he needs credit. The credit may not be as high as what one might expect in urban areas, but those access to credit makes it even more difficult for him to procure. And the process is just on dragging. They just go on dragging it because of certain technical issues or certain other issues. Therefore, to reduce this entire time, the delays that is happening, the procedural hindrance that is occurring in between, ICT was introduced. Now ICT has helped in reducing the entire delay from maybe 5, 6 or 7 days to merely 2 days or 1 day. Because of the ICT, all the informations are already available. So therefore the person who needs the loan can easily contact the branch via phone after looking at all the documents that are required. He may not have those documents, he may call that person up, ask him, tell him, inform him about what are the documents he has and what he does not. Then there will be a communication from the bank side, and then a business facilitator will come next day to get hold and deposit all the proofs of the documents that he has, and he verifies it, and therefore approves the loan then and there. So by the end of the second day, the person who wants the loan has already got the loan. The entire process of 7 days has been reduced to just 2 days here. Now this is why, and this is how ICT has helped in reducing the transaction cost, in reducing the delays, in most importantly eliminating out all the problems happening because of technicalities of the issues. The last point about implementation of ICT is that it improves the quality of services available. Of course it does. One point of time before the ICT was there, the customer has to go to the bank to get the loan. But now is the bank has already hired a third party who will come to the customer in his house to disperse the loan. So therefore the customer from an individual point of view would feel that he is more important to the bank. The bank values the person. Therefore he will feel special, and there a bond might start, a bond might connect with the bank and the customer, and that will later on help the bank in procuring out the interest and the loan amount that they have disbursed to the customer. Now this helps in improving the overall service, the services of the bank to the particular customer and the customer as and when he or she pays back the loans to the bank. So it's a win-win situation for both sides. And as discussed earlier, the business facilitator are the one through which, along with the ICT, the services are made more streamlined and it is made more easier to work, more hassle-free.